What's up guys, Julia here. In today's video, I'm going to expose the truth about making money online with dropshipping and give you a real, honest perspective about what it actually takes to see results. So if you've been thinking about dropshipping or you're already in the game, stick around, this video is for you. Let's get started. Dropshipping is usually seen as one of the fastest and simplest ways to make money online, and there's definitely a lot of truth to this. It has a very low barrier to entry, we have zero upfront costs, there are no physical operations, the whole thing is digital, it is possible to run from anywhere, and it's also possible to automate everything, so basically anyone could get started. But the number one hidden truth is that dropshipping can take time to work. There is no guarantee that the first product you choose to sell is going to have any success. If you want to get results, you have to be ready to test different products. I have literally seen stories of people who were testing products for months on end without making much profit, and then suddenly on their 20th or even 30th try, they break through and make millions of dollars. And of course, not every story is going to be this drastic. You can find success much sooner than that. But the point is, it can take time to find a winning product. Truth number 2, products can die. You can have a winning product making 6 figures a month, month after month, and then suddenly it can just die. So you have to be ready for that. The smartest thing you can do about this is to have a list of products that you want to sell, so if your current winner ends up dying, you can just move on to the next on the list. And product research can be a very extensive process, so having a good research tool can be very helpful. Minea is very good for this, so if you haven't gotten it yet, I'm going to leave it linked down below. This is a very powerful research tool for dropshipping. You can look at tons of ads that are running on social media, see what's working, what's not working, and basically replicate some of these formulas. They also have a tool called the Success Rater, which basically uses AI to come up with a list of 100 winning products every 8 hours. So if you are serious about dropshipping, this is going to be really helpful. I'll leave Minea linked down below. So once you know that a product is working and you don't want that product to just die out, what you can also do is private label that product so that it really becomes yours. You can get custom packaging and maybe even speak to manufacturers and see how you can actually improve that product. Now, of course, not every supplier is going to let you do this, but if you're using Zendrop, you can actually private label products once you're selling in a high volume. So this is huge. And we're gonna go more into this in a little bit, so make sure to stick around for that. Truth number 3, if you want to succeed in dropshipping, you will need to have a good understanding of marketing angles. Let me explain. You can just call this a blender, or you can completely redefine it and call it something like a smoothie maker. So that gives it an entirely new identity, which allows you to target it to an entirely new audience. And sometimes a winning product that has died can be completely brought back to life with a new marketing angle. So there's something very powerful to this. So you won't just be testing for products, but also for marketing angles. And Minea is actually also a gold mine to research marketing angles because you can see exactly how people are presenting their products in their ads. So it's just packed with ideas. If you want to use Minea, just a quick reminder, I'm going to leave the links down below. Truth number 4, you have to become familiar with what makes a great online store. If somebody lands on your website and has any kind of skepticism about that business, who's behind it, and where their money is going, they're not going to put in their credit card details and they're not going to buy anything. Which means that if you want to sell, your online store needs to look trustable. It needs to come across like a professional, reliable business. And there are a lot of things that go into building trust. Your overall web design, your visuals, the way you communicate your products, your policies like your shipping times and your return and refund policies, and whether or not you have customer reviews. Those are some of the things that go into building trust. You have to remove any kind of skepticism or hesitation that might be going on through a potential customer's mind. So you kind of have to read their minds and answer everything they might be thinking within your product page. Clear all of their questions, clear all of their doubts, and make them confident that if they buy this product, they're going to have a good experience. And if they don't like that product, they can easily return it. I mean, if you think about it, the reason why we often hesitate to buy something is because we're just not sure whether it's going to serve our needs or not. We're not sure if it's going to be worth the money. So if you can clearly communicate that your product is going to do exactly what you promise it's going to do, and you can really show that clearly with visuals in a high quality and nice looking way, you're going to create a stronger connection with the audience and they're more likely to buy. Here's an example of a product page that does this very, very well. If you just scroll through it, they give you all of the information. There are no questions left in your mind, and you're just confident about buying this product. So this is kind of what you should aim for in a product page if you actually wanted to drive sales. I do have step-by-step tutorials you can follow to set up your Shopify store. And by the way, if you still haven't signed up for Shopify, I'm gonna leave the best current deal for getting started down in the description. Right now it's a 3-day free trial and then $1 on your first month. I'm also going to leave a link to a complete online store checklist that I have created to help you optimize your online store for sales. It goes over lots of beginner mistakes you can easily avoid and different strategies you can use to make your online store better. It's got 78 pages and it's just packed with value. So if you haven't gotten yours yet, I'm also going to leave that link down below. Truth number 5, revenue does not equal profits. A lot of people out there will show you very big numbers, but the truth is, not all of those numbers are profits. There can be a lot of costs behind a store's revenue. Margins are usually around 20% of the revenue. If you're running ads on Facebook, Instagram, or TikTok, for example, you can expect your margins to be somewhere around 20%. So just to put this into perspective, if you make $50,000 in sales, that's $10,000 of profit, which is still great, but just something to have in mind. Now, if your traffic is organic, like maybe from a viral TikTok video, your margins are going to be much higher. They could go anywhere between 50 to 75%. So again, to put this into perspective, if you make $50,000 in sales, you then have anywhere between $25,000 and $37,500 in profits, which is much higher. Now, the downsides to a viral TikTok video is that it's not always consistent and it's not always scalable. So it's usually best to combine both strategies. It's also worth mentioning that you can use SEO or search engine optimization to drive organic traffic to your store. This means ranking your website very well on Google, which means organic clicks from Google search results. If you want to run paid ads, I have a TikTok ads tutorial you can follow. I'm going to leave that link down below as well. Truth number 6, not every supplier is able to grow with you. It's best to partner with a supplier that actually owns the supply chain. And this is something that really doesn't get talked about much, so let's go into it. Owning the supply chain means that the supplier gets to oversee and manage every step of the dropshipping process, from getting the product from the manufacturer to actually shipping it out to the end consumer. So if the supplier you're working with doesn't actually own the supply chain, you're basically just setting yourself up for a higher likelihood of complications. That means the supplier is just going to be a middleman between you and tons of different smaller suppliers. So you never really know who you're working with, and it can create a lot of communication issues. Now, when the supplier you work with actually owns their supply chain, it means that all the products are actually in their warehouses. So you get much better quality control, you get better communications, you get better shipping times, better margins, and also better customization options. So this is huge for your online store, and it's something that doesn't get talked about much. I have heard horror stories about people selling high volume on AliExpress. You never know who you're actually working with, and there can be a lot of communication barriers with Chinese suppliers. If an order gets delayed, lost in transit, or gets returned by your customer, you need to have an easy and effective communication channel with your supplier. Basically, you're relying on their customer service to run your own business. So the supplier you're working with needs to have really good customer service. Zendrop actually owns their supply chain, and this is a real professional business that's ethical, fulfilling your orders. Their warehouses are also located in US, not just China, so you're gonna see products with much better shipping times. This is the best supplier that I can recommend, and it's a company that can actually grow and scale with you. You get to grow your margins as you grow your volume, and they actually give you the ability to brand your products. You can add thank you cards to your orders, you can get custom packaging, and it's also possible to private label products. So you can really go from just selling someone else's product to really creating your own brand and private labeling something that's yours. So then you don't need to just be looking for the next winner until it dies and move on to the next one. Once you know something is working, you can actually use this to create a long-term scalable brand. And if you get a return, Zendrop will also refund you 100% of your money, so this can also save you quite some money in the long run. Based on my experience, I would say their customer service is the best. So if you want to use Zendrop, I'm going to leave a link to a free trial of their Plus plan down below. It comes with all of the branding features that I've just mentioned, weekly coaching calls, and a gift of $200 worth of order credits that gets added to your Zendrop wallet, so you can use that to start fulfilling your orders. It's a really profitable head start into dropshipping, so if you want to sign up for their Plus plan, you can find a free trial down below. All right, truth number 7, the most important topic of all. If you don't have the right mindset, none of this is gonna work. I'm gonna be real with you. There are days when things are not gonna go the way you want them to. One moment or another, dropshipping is going to throw challenges at you. And it's your willingness to face those challenges and dig for solutions that's gonna determine whether you stay stuck or keep moving forward. And the truth is, building long-term success takes commitment. And commitment takes discipline. Motivation is not always going to be there for you when you need it. It's just a spark that comes up and then goes down again. I know this is probably not what you want to hear. We all want the shortcuts, the easy way, the fast routes. But the truth is, the difference between someone who is very successful and somebody who just never achieve their goals is that the successful person doesn't stop when things get uncomfortable. They just keep pushing through no matter what until they see results. They just keep moving forward when everybody else quits. So it's not a sprint, it's a marathon, and you have to stay consistent. You see, most people quit when things get uncomfortable, but if you just stay in the game long enough, you will eventually get there. So the real truth is, dropshipping is worth the while, but you have to be ready to face challenges. So embrace failure. Don't be afraid of making mistakes. Your mistakes are teaching you things. And practice seeing all of these things from a place of gratitude. I promise you, the more lighthearted you can be about these things, the more you can access ideas, solutions, inspiration, and whatever information you need to continue growing. Your state of being matters. And it's by building all of these habits inside of you that you're going to be able to create all of them outside of you. Meaning that your business is going to be a reflection of you working on yourself as a person. Because everything you experience is just a reflection of who you really are. So remember that. I hope this helps. Now, all that being said, I am going to do my absolute best to help you achieve success in the most effective way possible. So in the description below, you will find a series of step-by-step tutorials you can follow to set up your dropshipping store. And if you haven't signed up for Shopify, I'm also going to leave the best current deal for getting started down below. Right now it's a 3-day free trial and then $1 on your first month. I'm also going to leave a link to a complete online store checklist you can follow to optimize your online store for sales. It goes over lots of beginner mistakes you can easily avoid and tons of strategies you can use to make your online store better. It's got 78 pages and I have packed it with value. So if you haven't gotten yours yet, I'm also going to leave that linked down below. If you have any questions at all, feel free to leave them down in the comments and I'm going to do my best to help you out. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button. It'll be super, super appreciated. Thank you so much for watching and I'll see you in the next video.